Basics of marketing. Well, before you start doing any kind of marketing, I would say even developing your application, you have to have a plan. So what does that mean? You need to be thinking in terms of users who will be using the application. So one of the really good exercises is to define personas, and persona is something that describes your ideal user. Who is he or she and how they would be using the application, in what cases, and most importantly, what value will they get from that? What kind of problems this application will be solving for them? And it's really important to put all of this in writing so you will have a concrete line of thought when you will be developing messaging and your other marketing material. In addition to that, you'll need to prepare some market positioning statements. And we're going to take a look at one in a moment, but that's also a very important preparation step. Next, you'll want to think about communities who would be interested in your application. You'll want to reach out to them and ask them for advice, feedback, and later you'll be able to give them to try out application, and those communities will be one of the key points that will promote your application. And in addition to that, you will probably want to find certain people that will help you promote your application. So if you're making application for stock tracking, maybe you know a trader, or you can get in touch with some traders that will give you some feedback, and maybe they will even share this application with their friends. So it's really important to build these relationships. And now about positioning statement. So positioning statement is something that describes very briefly what is your product, what is your customer, and what the problem is being solved for that target customer. And you will need to differentiate yourself against your competitors and be able to describe briefly how you're different from your competition, and in the end, how your product will solve that certain problem for that user. Again, you have to do this in writing so your thoughts become very specific, and if you have that, you will be able to use it for further messaging. Also, App Store optimization is very important. So whenever you are describing your product on Google Play Store, you have to think in terms of how this will be discovered by search engine and how users will search for this product or how they would search for it. So you have to include certain keywords that will make your application more prominent for that specific group of users. And that will involve changing the title, short description, long description, but that's something you have to pay attention. And one of the most important things that you'll have to do in the end is to have built-in marketing mechanism in your application. Something like that could be referrals, sharing functionality, gamification, content creation inside the application. That works very well with the search engine optimization. So your content becomes discoverable on Google or other sharing and search engines. So you have to have all of these tools in mind when you're developing application, and basically you'll have to decide which one sticks the best for your application. So in this case, maybe referrals would work the best for our stock portfolio tracking application, because since it's a paid product, we can provide a discount for the referee and the user being referred. So that should work pretty well. Sharing, maybe. But there could be other means how you can build in the marketing inside the application. And the other thing you have to know is that paid marketing is really expensive. So you can buy users on Facebook or AdWords, but at the very least, it's going to cost you at least €1 an install. Sometimes you can get lucky and get 50 cents per install, but that's It really depends on the market where you are marketing in. And if it's more mature, more well-established market, like let's say Western Europe or US, it's not unheard of to pay 4 or even more euros or dollars per install. So it can get really expensive. And what's the worst in this case is that users usually that install the application, they don't really care about it because they found the ad and they don't have any attachment. So they are very quick to install the application and uninstall it. And even if they stick and use it for a bit, they don't really care about it. You should find users from communities and approach it more organically. So this section was about doing final touches to your application that could really make a difference. So we have covered things like creating intro tutorial and how to deploy the application to Google Play, how to work with Canvas, and working with payments was one of the topics. Then we continued with the analytics and why is that important. We took a very quick look at quick tiles, and finally we did a brief overview of basics of marketing. Thank you.